The director of outreach, Spencer Seidel, also resigns his post in the special session. The sudden announcement left senators split on who was right and who was wrong. Chief McNair tells ATV News that one of these T3 scooters can go from the public safety building all the way to the Tanley campus within 5 minutes. The officers that we talked to say they put on their helmets, hold on, and enjoy the ride. The protest here at the White House coincides with a report by General Petraeus on the surge in Iraq and is urging President Bush to bring back the troops. Teachers here at KIF say that when students enroll to this academy, they're usually 2 or 3 grade levels behind. But when they join this school, they can reach grade level or can even exceed it. The Kerwin era has officially started, but Kerwin has been part of AU since 1967 when he came to campus as an undergrad. He then received his BA in 1971. Although AU bus drivers are having fun competing in this obstacle course, they also say safety is the main priority.
There's no possibility it's going to be recalled?
That I can't answer. Obviously, that's something that would be corporate, but we get anything that is recalled, we get right away through emails, and everything's pulled that day.
Grandmother of 3, Aline Asralon, is concerned about this year's toy recalls.
It affected the way I shop, because normally I'd go in the store, and if I saw something even on a whim, I would buy it, and I don't do that anymore. Now when it comes to the toys. Clothing I will, but not the toys.
Asralon is among many who are worried. Bethesda KB Toys manager Allison Herzog says that she and her employees take toys safety very seriously.
The most we can do is just get as much information out there, assure every customer that everything that, as far as we know, is safe and, abides with the highest standards that we can.
Retailers like KB Toys are taking every step to ensure that the recalled toys are removed from their shelves. But how can parents be certain their children are safe? Pediatrician Benjamin Getterman has 3 tips for parents.
They should go in and number 1, they should ask, have you taken the recalled toys off of the shelves? Number 2, they should go into the stores with lists of the toys that have been recalled because of lead. And number 3, they should really think about the types of toys that don't even have metal in them. Even though there are nearly 2 months before the official start of the holiday season, shoppers like Asralon are on their guard. Daniel Pineda, ATV News, Bethesda, Maryland. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers awaits a decision by the Safety Board to resume digging at this location after a chemical shell was found mid-November. The front yard of this vacated home on 4825 Glenbrook Road is not your typical home. That is because the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers are recovering World War I munitions buried near American University.
Many people don't know that the American University played a key role in the World War I effort. They hosted an experiment station here. They offered their labs and nearby surrounding grounds to the U.S. Army to test and develop chemical warfare agents for the use on the battlefields.
The digging stopped on December 5th after a chemical shell was found. The shell did not have a fuse attached to ignite the explosive device.
Immediately when a shell is dug up from the ground, the trained ordnance technicians who do this kind of work for a living, they can instantly tell if there's a fuse or not present on the end. And all the shells that we've been recovering from this site have not had fuses, so the technicians knew instantaneously that there was no fuse and therefore no real immediate threat of any kind of explosion.
Tawny Harding can understand what Spring Valley is going through as her neighborhood, Wesley Heights, experienced the same situation about 6 years ago.
I think there's a reason for concern, but I don't think they should move. I mean, hopefully the people that are handling it, from what I understand, are being very responsible about the health and safety issues about it. So I think all they can do is just ride it out.
In case of a disaster, there is a protected structure covering the pit that would contain a possible explosion and a siren that would alert the community. A decision is expected this month to decide whether or not the digging can resume. Daniel Pineda for ATV News. Riding on the merry-go-round on a Saturday afternoon, the Batotsky family is trying to live a normal life.
We have 2 sons that have autism. This is Sam, who's 13, and his brother Ben is 15.
The Walk for Autism at the National Mall is bringing the autistic community closer together from a disorder that is so challenging to treat.
Autism's been notoriously difficult to diagnose. Things have gotten much better because of events like this, where people are now donating money towards research. Very little research dollars were going directly into autism until fairly recently.
Although autism is challenging to diagnose, the American Academy of Pediatrics is making a push to screen children twice by the age of 2 and gives these warning signs to parents. The warning signs are not making eye contact, not recognizing a parent's voice, not babbling by 9 months of age, and not using pre-speech gestures such as waving, pointing, and showing. The Potolsky family thanks organizers for their support during the Walk for Autism.
It feels good to get the support, to know that there are so many people out here that care and that are just like we are.
It's like
some of the
what I was saying before. It's the support is so important. Empathy, isn't it? It's the support and the community, because that's what gives everybody strength.
So as the Potolsky family crosses the finish line, so many families like them can hope and pray that their children can rise above autism. In Washington, I'm Daniel Pineda. It's 11:30 a.m. when legendary anchorwoman J.C. Hayward gets ready for the noon broadcast. She starts in the makeup room, then makes her way to the studio, where she has been anchoring for 35 years.
For fact, when I came here to Washington, I was the first woman anchor. So there were some challenges, let's say. The viewers weren't used to seeing a woman anchor, and certainly not a black woman anchoring.
Though Hayward can enjoy where she is now, the beginnings for her were difficult.
Cry all the way home. I'd be devastated because I thought that viewers would think, well, she's stupid. Listen at her. She doesn't know how to pronounce the word. And I finally realized that everyone makes mistakes.
Emmys, anchoring, popularity are not just part of the job for Hayward, but what she cherishes the most are community service and informing the public. Hayward's producer for 10 years calls her colleague incredibly generous. She has paid college tuition for several youngsters to help them get started. That is why Madeline LaCour calls her the face of Washington.
When you think of J.C. Hayward, you think of the Washington metropolitan area.
You meet people who say, gee, I grew up with you, and they look as old as you are. It's like, gosh, am I that old?
Hayward's advice to upcoming journalists are to work hard, be informed, be persistent.
Those who are going to be successful are those who stay at it. You only want one job, and your attitude should be, there's one job out there for me. Don't give up and don't give in.
You can watch J.C. Hayward each weekday at noon on WSA 9 News. Daniel Pineda for ATV News. Hello, I'm Daniel Pineda in the ATV Newsroom. We have developing news. Presidential hopeful Barack Obama will hold a rally in Bender Arena on Monday. The event is open to the public. Doors will open at 10:30 a.m. and the event is scheduled to kick off at 12:15. The Obama campaign is promoting the event on barackobama.com/American Youth. Stay tuned to ATV News for the latest. The White House is calling this State of the Union address the sprint to the finish line. The economy, earmarks, and Iraq are the major headlines in Bush's speech. Chief McNair says the T3 scooters max out at 15 miles per hour, which is the speed limit on campus. And the T3 allows an officer to stand up about 9 inches higher from the ground, which lets officers see the campus better. American University is under investigation by the New York State Attorney General for possible kickbacks in its study abroad program. AU is among 15 universities that have been subpoenaed. American University students are known to pay home tuition when students are taking classes abroad. Welcome to ATV News. I'm Daniel Pineda. ATV News will be back in full force next semester, but let's get caught up on the latest news as it's happening this semester.